Let's talk about GI surgeries. For some people, it can be really daunting to think about going into the gastrointestinal tract. And yeah, it can be dirty and you've got to be careful because the abdomen really doesn't like any bacteria at all. So you do have to be careful, but don't let it paralyze you. Firstly, the stomach heals well. And if the foreign body you're going after is in the stomach, odds are you're not going to have compromised tissues because the stomach is a big vault and you're not likely to get into that purple, I'm thinking I'm going to die, like the intestines might be. So don't hesitate to go in the stomach. Key to success here is pack it off, pull that stomach out of the abdomen, make sure you change your gloves, and I like to do a 2-layer closure. You don't have to, you can do a 1-layer. There are many ways to close the stomach. I like to do 2 layers, full thickness, 1 layer, simple continuous, and then I come back with an inverting layer, either a Cushing or a Lambert, and a continuous. Change your gloves after you've done that closure, and then you can lavage and close the abdomen. Change your gloves and instruments, I forgot to say, but don't use your dirty instruments. When it comes to doing an enterotomy, often the foreign body is going to get lodged into the jejunum, which is nice, and hopefully it's pretty acute, so the bowel is healthy enough. And again, exteriorize the bowel. Try to get it out of the abdomen. The duodenum is one area of the bowel that really can't come out of the abdomen very well. It's kind of stuck to the dorsum. But the jejunum, you can take it out of the abdomen, pack it all off from the abdomen, use very gentle tissue handling. Your sutures, your stitches should not be crushing. They should just oppose the tissues. Use doyens or an assistant to keep the bowel from leaking too much, but you are going to be working outside the abdomen, so any leakage will be outside the abdomen. And once you've closed the bowel, do a leak test, and then change your gloves and instruments, lavage the area, close the abdomen. Where the GI surgeries get a little trickier is when the foreign body has been really obstructive, maybe it's been there for a while, and the vitality of the bowel is in question. So you have a lot of criteria to determine, is the bowel still viable? Is it black or is it red? Anything with some red in it is going to be okay. Even purple has a fair bit of red in it. So it might be okay. Is there mobility? Is it still bleeding? Sometimes if I have a loop of bowel that I'm really not sure if it's going to be viable, I'll take the foreign body out and then I will just give that loop of bowel 5 minutes. Maybe I've got to go and check another part of the abdomen out. I will give it 5 minutes and then I will come back and recheck it. Often that dark purple going on to dark blue and oh my God, I think I need to do a resection anastomosis color will have improved to being a bright purple with more red in it. Red is good. Red is good. Red means there's blood flow. So you can close that and move on. However, if you need to do a resection anastomosis, just do it. It is several steps more than an enterotomy. I get that, but the principles are all the same. So before you go into an abdomen to remove a foreign body that you think is somewhere in the intestinal tract, make sure you know how you would do your resection anastomosis if you do get to that point. If you really don't want to ever do a resection anastomosis, then you have to be very careful about your case selection. Your patient will start letting you know if you're going to need to do a resection anastomosis. So think of your really chronic patients. Man, he's had this foreign body, he's been vomiting now for 5 days, and of course it's now Friday afternoon, so the patient comes into the hospital. He is very tender in the abdomen, there is some free fluid in the abdomen with bacteria. Yep. Odds are you're going to need to do more than just a simple little enterotomy, and maybe you want to stay away from that patient. Maybe you send that patient off, you encourage that client to go for referral. And honestly, when they're that sick, having the full 24-hour service around that patient is often better. Go in and get those foreign bodies, and please keep on saving more dogs and cats by doing what you do. Thank you.